Thank you.
Very honored and privileged to extend a very, very hearty welcome. Like today is a golden day for the country's sake of industry and commerce. With your august presence, sir. Sir, just to briefly explain about Bangalore Chambers, is one of the oldest chambers in the state, founded in the year 1976. The chamber represents the 95% of the capital investment and 90% of the corporate labor employed in the state of Karnataka. We have presently a membership base of 850 plus companies representing the big, medium, and small scale industries across all sectors such as manufacturing, aerospace, aviation, IT, BT, pharma, engineering, garments, food processing, steel, and services. BCIC played a very active role in promoting trade and investment in the state and also in the country, and has an excellent track record of bringing the domestic and international network. And we have signed several MOUs with leading Chamber of Industries and Commerce across the globe, center and state governments, with the formulation of sectoral and industrial policies. The Chamber's theme for this year, sir, is Namma Karnataka, the gateway to the future India. So we have thought leadership with industry-specific expert committees constituted to address and examine contemporary issues and challenges faced by sectors such as aviation and aerospace, agro, food processing, banking, finance and corporate affairs, and economic affairs, energy, environment, water, electronics, design, manufacturing, human resources, etc. Sir, I have the very great pleasure and privilege once again on behalf of BCIC to extend a hearty welcome to our Honorable Minister, Shri Nitin Gadkari, the Union Minister for Transport, Highways and MSMEs. The Minister is a great visionary, a great leader, a political genius, a social reformer, and a wonderful human being. In fact, just to give a brief introduction, he doesn't need any introduction. He was born on 27th of May 1957 in a Maharashtrian family with roots in agriculture in the orange city of Nagpur. Shri Gadkari was involved very closely with the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS, and the Akhila Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, and took the social work to a big way. Shri Gadkari completed his post-graduation in commerce besides studying law and obtaining a diploma in business management. Shri Gadkari formally entered politics in 1980 and served as the PWD minister in the Maharashtra government during 95 to 99. He was elected to the State Legislative Council for 4 consecutive terms. He was also the leader for opposition in the upper house. He became the BJP state president in Maharashtra in 2005 and was elected as the party's national president at the young age of 52 in 2009. Gadkari adopted the PPP model, popularly known as the BOT, the Build, Operate, Transfer for executing infrastructure projects. He was instrumental in successfully executing India's first express highway, the Mumbai-Pune Express Corridor, and 55 flyovers in Mumbai in a record time. Shri Gadkari was elected to the 16th Sabha from Nagpur, winning by an impressive margin. On 26 May 2014, he was first time sworn in as Union Minister for Road Transport, Highways and Shipping. Later, 3rd September 2017, he took the additional charge of water resource and Ganga regeneration. As a Minister for Road Transport and Highways, he is credited with achieving the fastest highways construction rate, taking from 12 kilometers in the year 2014 to 37 kilometers. Sir, hats off to you. I think you really deserve a standing ovation from the chambers. Unbelievable feat, even beyond imagination. And this year, the minister's target is 40 kilometers a day, maybe the biggest in the global picture. During his tenure as the Union Minister, Water Resource and Ganga Regeneration, the monumental Namami Ganga project became a mass movement involving central and state government agencies, private sector and foreign investors, NGOs, spiritual and social organizations, as well as the common people. An innovative hybrid annuity model was adopted to take up more than 200 plus river cleaning projects across the length and breadth of the Ganges. The result of normal and the Aviral Ganga were clearly evident during the 2018 Kumbh Mela in Prayagraj. Road safety has always been very close to his chest, and he continues to be, even in the second term of the NDA government, doing his best to promote road safety. He has put road safety as a national mission. He has introduced new comprehensive highway capacity manual and enacted a world-class road safety act. The core of his strategy for promoting MSME and Kadi and village industries includes use of technology, including green technology, financing through credit insurance, creation of transaction-based digital manufacturing platform, and improving cluster-based approach for industrial development. Sir, it's a great privilege once again that you are with us. Sorry that we could not have a physical meeting with you. We would have loved to have you in the physical platform. But definitely after the COVID, we look forward to having a physical presence. And sir, in fact, we are all very, very proud of the great national achievement. I think for a country like India, from 12, 13 kilometers a day, today you have taken the nation to close to 40 kilometers a day. And today India is on the global map in the road construction, the road modernization, and be the port modernization. I think 12 or 13 national ports, they're all flooding with profits. And water connectivity has become a very important stream in India. And the inland connectivity you brought in is unimaginable beyond even imagination, sir. And I think hats off to the kind of visionary you have built for India. So I don't want to take much of your time for the audience. So once again, I extend a very hearty welcome to all my colleagues, past presidents, mentors, chairs, the special executive team, and also the special invitees to Bangalore Chamber of Industry and Commerce. I also invite the press, media, and my friends. Once again, thank you, sir, for being with us. Sir, 5 minutes, we will just take you through some of the key challenges we face on the chambers, just for bringing it to your kind notice. May I request our chair of the MSME Council, Sri Indu Shekhar, who is the head of Volvo India, to present the image on the MSME challenges. Over to you, Volvo, Shekhar.
Thank you, President. Good evening, Minister. Indeed, it's an honor to talk to you today, representing BCIC. Many thanks to you and BCIC for providing me this opportunity. Sir, I salute you for your stupendous efforts and leadership in putting India on global map towards development of excellent road networks across India. In true sense, roads are for prosperity. We also thank you for creating a visionary model for MSMEs, which is also a backbone for India industry. Sir, we at Volvo are proud to be associated with India infrastructure development through our products and services. Sir, we at MSME Council have put in few suggestions as part of efficiency enhancement. If I go through, let me start with the finance. Here we're talking about development of financial institutions. So currently, SIDBI is the only MSME-focused DFI. Suggestion is to create 4 more DFIs across India in line with SIDBI. This actually helps deepen credit markets in under-reserved districts and regions by guiding private lenders such as NBFC and MFI. Sir, if I move on to quality, perhaps this is where the biggest thrust is necessary for India as a country. Here, I would like to emphasize the selection criteria and evaluation to be based on quality instead of moving towards an L1 kind of a lowest bidder. Evaluation of class of the products. Let's say for class A to be compared with a class A instead of class A being compared to class B or class C. In that sense, we will make sure that quality will be the driver, which is extremely critical. Sir, I would like to move to the testing, and here I would like to bring a very important point. Our own past president, Devesh Agarwal, who is also an MSME entrepreneur, he, in true sense, has been Atmanirbhar Bharat since 1997, and way back for C. He was trying to develop certain replacement modules, and the biggest challenge was the testing because it was quite critical. He had to go for Singapore to get the test and validation done. So today his current products are actually being marketed to 7 continents, and from the experience, from Devesh and many other MSME entrepreneurs, testing facilities in India are limited and sometimes very bureaucratic and unhelpful. Hence, world-class testing facilities at industrial, I would say industrial zones, will be critical both on speedy development and speed to market. Sir, if I then move on to the last but not the least, that's the market. Perhaps everything begins from market. Here, the suggestion is towards moving to a cluster model approach to enhance the market opportunity for MSMEs. The suggestion, could we bring all the commodities in one place, like what's perhaps done in Taiwan and let's say Japan, China, and many of those markets. They bring these commodities, be it electrical refrigeration or the hardware and the software at one place, which then gives a lot of opportunity removed. Sir, few more suggestions have actually been provided in the annexure, and I would like to stop here, and I would also like to thank you for hearing us patiently, and best wishes to you and your team in keeping the India flag very high and always inspiring and motivating us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Indu Shekhar. Now, may I request our past president and the managing director of Jason Technologies, Sri Devesh Agarwal, to talk on the road transport infrastructure. In fact, sir, I would like to bring it to your notice. Sri Devesh Agarwal had taken a Bharat journey just a month ago, 2 weeks after he was down with COVID. But he traveled in his Harley Davidson, stretched 10,000 kilometers in his bike. So I thought he is a better person to talk today. And may I request Mr. Devesh to share with the ministers your voice, please.
Good evening, Gadkari ji. Namaskar. Thank you for coming to the chamber and sharing your valuable time with us. I must congratulate you. In August 2018, I did a 6,000 kilometer trip from Bangalore to Delhi and then back to Bangalore. In just recent past, I did a 9 or 10,000 kilometer trip all the way from Kanyakumari up to Kashmir and came back to Kanyakumari, and I had a chance to experience the roads going up, via Bombay and returning via your hometown of Nagpur back to Bangalore and down to Kanyakumari. And the improvement in the roads in the last 2 years is very, very noticeable. Congratulations to you and your team at the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways for doing such a fantastic job. I also would like to point out, sir, I've lived in the US for 20 years and I've lived in Singapore for 7 years. So a lot of observations that I make, I try to compare with the best practices of these countries. And it, I think, sets a benchmark that we should try and achieve. And I know that we can achieve in terms of this thing. One of the things, sir, I saw in my trip was the incredible beauty of India, the cultural diversity. Next slide, please. it was such a it's really something. It's an eye opener. Next slide, please.
Deveshji, actually, can we stop the presentation? I think we can go directly to the minister's voice. I think there is, since we are running short of time, may I just, we'll send all these annexures to the minister's office for the scarcity of time. Just, yeah. Thank you, Devesh. Sir, we will send you the copy of Mr. Devesh's presentation to you. So now I request the Honorable Minister, Sri Nitin Gadkari ji, to address the Bangalore Chambers. Over to you, sir.
Mr. Sri T.R. Parshuraman, President of BCIC, Mr. K.R. Shekhar, Senior Vice President, Mr. Dr. L. Ravindran, Vice President, BCCIC, distinguished guests and all my dear friends. It's a really good opportunity for me to interact with you. Presently, we are facing the crucial problem of pandemic, COVID-19. And that is one of the big challenge for all of us. We are facing very crucial time. I am in Nagpur and particularly in Maharashtra, we are facing very, very crucial time. In my city, the death rate is going up to the 100 deaths per day. And actually we have 8,000 COVID patients every day. Now it is just yesterday it was reduced by 2,000. The situation is very bad. But it is time for us to make good infrastructure in health, particularly which is the need of our country. We have to formulate one scheme by which we can establish the good health services, not only in the city area, but it is time for us to, we need to take it up to the village level, to availability of oxygen, medicines, and all type of at least preliminary treatment which the people need. It is now we need to find out some way out for that. We have to upgrade our hospitals and our system. But presently, regarding the interaction with you, the Indian economy is the fastest growing economy in the world. And naturally, the dream of our Prime Minister to make India as the economy of $5 trillion, and the Atmanirbhar Bharat is the mission for all of us. In particularly in this direction, this is the time for the country and people like you have to accept the challenge that how we can increase our export and how we are going to reduce our imports. The innovation, entrepreneurship, science, technology, research, skill and successful practices, we name it as a knowledge and conversion of knowledge into wealth is the future for the country. And as far as the Bangalore is concerned, it is the knowledge capital of India. Particularly in the field of IT, our lot of companies are doing excellent performance in the field and now they are establishing their units in all over the world. It is really one of the pride for all Indians that our IT companies from Bangalore, from Hyderabad and even from our engineers, software engineers are doing excellent jobs in the whole world. Well, now this is the time for all of us that we have got talented, young talented and engineering manpower highest available in the world. And this is the time that we can make miracles in the whole world. We have got the all potential. And exactly that is the time that the people like you who are particularly from the Bangalore, which is the knowledge capital of India, you can contribute too much for the mission of Atmanirbhar Bharat. The one of the important thing is for any development we need water, power, transport and communication. I am responsible for the transport field and presently already I am assuring you that we want to make Indian infrastructure, particularly the road infrastructure of world standard. Now we are making 22 green express highways, and these are very important for the country. These are the axis control new express highways between Bangalore to Chennai also. Already the work has started. The package are already awarded, and actually because of COVID-19, it was really a missing situation for all of us that even we cannot take any function for that. But the work has already started. We are making a big road between Mysore to Bangalore also. The work is also going on. It is very important as per the tourism and particularly the industrial development in the Mysore area is concerned. It's very important. It is also in the full speed. And one of the important problem of Bangalore is Bangalore Ring Road. And because of that, you are all facing the problem of lot of things. I know that the Bangalore Ring Road cost is coming to 17,000 crore with the land acquisition cost. It was really a big thing, but now we have decided to start this project. The DPR is in the progress, and I am confident that the government of Karnataka has given me the assurance for share of 25% of land cost, and the material which we are using, steel and cement and other thing, they will give GST exemption for that, and the royalty from Karnataka government, they assured me, we are waiting for their approval, that they will give the all aggregate without royalty for construction of this ring road. At the same time, regarding the 6th laning of Bangalore-Mysore NH 275, the project has 117 km long, consisting of 2 packages, and total cost of this project is 8,000 crore, including land acquisition cost. And I am confident that before September 2022, we are going to complete this project, which is very important for Karnataka. At the same time, Chennai-Bangalore, that is the new express highway we are planning, out of which total length of Bangalore-Chennai express highway is 263 kilometers, out of which 71.700 kilometers is in Karnataka, 85 kilometers in Andhra Pradesh, and 107 kilometers in Tamil Nadu. In Karnataka, already 71.700 kilometers is divided into 3 packages. 71 kilometers is divided into 3 packages, and work has awarded. LOA has been issued, and I am confident that already the work has started and we are going to complete this project. The most important thing is regarding the road construction is very important as far as the industrial development is concerned. I always have a slogan, a statement of American President John Kennedy, that American roads are not good because America is rich, but America is rich because American roads are good. So the prosperity is coming from the road. And today in this year we have already in the condition of this pandemic, we have already succeed to make 3 international track records. One is we are highest in the road construction now, and we are making 37 kilometer per day road construction, and I am confident that next year 100% we will complete our target of 40 kilometer per day. At the same time, it is very important that we have achieved one international record, construction of road, 2.5 kilometer 4-lane concrete road within 24 hours. In Delhi-Mumbai Express Highway, we have already constructed. So this is also one of the road, the biggest express highway in the country of 1300 kilometers. And I am assuring you that we will take you from Delhi to Mumbai by just 12 hours. And within 1.5 years, we are going to complete this road. 50% work has already completed. And the other important thing is Delhi to Dehradun. Within 2 hours, we are going to start this work. This is also important road. Delhi to Haridwar within 2 hours, and Delhi to Chandigarh also within 2 hours. Delhi to Amritsar within 6 hours, and Delhi to Katra, it is within 6 hours. So we are doing lot of new road projects by which 100% I am confident that within 2 to 3 years, our road infrastructure will be equal to USA standard and the world standard. So 100% we will be succeeding it, and we are working very fast on this goal. Regarding the waterways and sea transport, water transport is also very important. You are the aviation hub is also the Bangalore is there. So now the amphibious seaplane, actually when I was Minister for Shipping and Ports, I tried my level best and we have clear all the rules, regulations and everything for starting of amphibious seaplane. We have started this seaplane between Sardar Sarovar. Already it is going on. But now there is a huge potential for the amphibious seaplane. So in Karnataka, particularly the aviation industry, they can make it good start in this line, because this is one of the important for the tourism and other sector. It is really one of the important thing. Regarding the water transport, in river transport and sea transport is equally important. At the time when I was Minister of Shipping and Ports and Inland Waterways, we have completed this Ganga waterways starting from Varanasi to Haldia. It is already completed. The 4 multimodal hub is there, the Varanasi, Gazipur, Haldia, and third is at Varanasi, Haldia, Gazipur, and third is Sahib, fourth is Sahibganj. It is already completed. Then from Haldia, we can easily go into the Bengal Sea, by which we can go into the Brahmaputra, and from Brahmaputra also we can go up to Bangladesh and Southeast Asia, and even going to Northeast, everywhere it can be possible. Now Allahabad, Prayagraj to Varanasi also, the 1.5 meter of the draft is already completed, and we have submitted one report that starting from Delhi with Yamuna, that from Delhi to Mathura, Mathura to Agra, Agra to Etawah, Etawah to Allahabad, Prayagraj. That project is pending with the World Bank. So then we can take all material from Delhi to China and Southeast Asia. It can be a great thing. At that time, the port connectivity project overall length of 125 kilometer to improve the connectivity between the minor port of Belikeri and Honavar in the state of Karnataka as a part of Bharatmala Pariyojana at investment of 3,000 crore. Of the 4 projects, 1 project with a length of 54 km is already under implementation. That is Belikeri Port to Kumta, Sirsi Stretch on Yakumbi Haveri, and is targeted to be completed by December 2022. The DPR is in progress for the remaining 3 projects, namely Sirsi Yakumbi Harveri Stretch on Yakumbi Harveri 60 kilometers, and road connectivity from Kasarkad site to Hanover Port to NH 4 km, then bypass road from NH to Belikeri Port, and rail connectivity from Havada to Belikeri, Harwada to Belikeri 7 km. Out of about 3 projects, first 2 projects with a length of 64 km are targeted for awarded by first year 21, and third project will be awarded by first quarter of 2022. Once completed, these stretches will enable efficient cargo movement in and out of the ports. In addition to of this 125 km of port connectivity project, 277 km of coastal roads are being implemented in the state of Karnataka to improve the connectivity in the coastal region. We are also working on the important project from Kanyakumari to Mumbai, making new green express highway, which is also very equally important. So regarding the infrastructure, we are very cautious. We have power surplus now, and now the Prime Minister has given us a new responsibility to making of ropeway, cable car, vernacular railway, light rail transport, and we are also working on that. And now in Pune between Shirur to Waguli, we are making 50 kilometer bridge, and where the first ground level is 8-lane road, then the bridge of 6 lane, then there is also the second layer of bridge of 6 lane, and the third level there will be a metro system, public transport system on electricity. We are working for Chennai, the same system. From Chennai port to out of Chennai we can easily come from with using this flyover. Then we are making the same system in Jamshedpur and Ranchi also. So these are the new vision by which we are going to change the total scenario of the country. We are making one Dwarka Express Highway between in Delhi. The highway's length is only 30 kilometer, but actually the cost of the project is 10,000 crore, and 60% is already completed. And it is also very important at the first layer there is a road, then second layer there is a flyover, then first layer is flyover, second level is flyover, and the third level we are now trying to making a public transport system for that on electricity. So the new innovations, new technology we are developing. At the same time, important thing that you can make the industrial clusters are very important. I will suggest you two things. One important thing is we are making green express highways, and NHI is ready with you. Just you consider the example of the Bangalore Ring Road. We are spending 17,000 crore on this project. And there is roadside, no development is there. But if you can make industrial clusters with the collaboration of NHI and state government of Karnataka, we can make the industrial clusters on that side. It can going to give you a great help for that. And even on the Green Express Highway, there are a lot of villages and cities are there. We can make smart city, not only smart city, we can make smart villages with the industrial clusters. We can make the clusters for electronics, clusters for automobile industry, cluster for different type of industries, particularly the pharmaceutical industries, then medical devices, different type of, you can make the different type of clusters in the same place. You are very important regarding the four important things which already you given to me. About one is need for more financial institutions. Now already in MSME we have taken a decision to, particularly my idea and my vision is that the good MSME, those who have good track record of bank turnover, income tax and GST, we can give them a special rating, and then that MSME will go to capital market to attract the investment from abroad also, and by which 10% of their capital which they are going to raise from the capital market, we will give them from government as a equity to them, and they can raise the capital from the market. So after 3 years, 2 years, we can sell their say equity by getting 2 times, 3 times more money and again invest in the another MSMEs. This type of new fund of fund system is already we have sanctioned and we are working on that. Regarding the quality is very important. We need to reduce the logistic cost, power cost and labor cost without compromise with the quality. We have to make new joint ventures for the new technology. Now this is very important regarding the quality. We need to reduce the logistic cost and we have to improve the quality. That is very important. So at the same time, the testing facility is very important. But my suggestion is, in place of government, if we can make the association of the industry and we can make the joint venture. We have 18 industrial training research institutes. Now we are now decided to give it to the private sector. And there you can establish the testing facility. You can establish the facility for training and skill development. You can develop the new products, and the total in that system will be managed by the private industry or institution like Chamber of Commerce and Industry and other people. So on that model, it can be a good thing. We are also supportive because this testing laboratory is also economically viable. My suggestion is association of industry, if they can take the initiative. We will think on the proposal that how government can facilitate them and how they can support them. In place of government, my approach is and my experience is that we need to develop private sector. It can be a good thing. Regarding the financial also, I will request you to make non-banking finance companies, small companies, with the collaboration of the foreign investment. You can make support to your industry also with the low interest cost. So we need to have new innovative models by which we can be transparent, time-bound, result-oriented, and a corruption-free system will give 100% relief to the people by and large. Regarding the market, we are also developing the market portal, particularly like Alibaba and Amazon. Lot of Indian people are doing excellent job. Now MSME, presently our turnover is in the village industry is 88,000 crore. And particularly the MSME contributes 30% of the GDP growth in the country. Now we have changed the definition of MSME. I am confident that this year when the statistic will decide, will take, I don't know exactly the today what exactly it is, but I am confident the MSME is going to contribute 40% of our GDP growth. We have 48% of export from MSME, and we have up till now created 11 crore jobs. But now this is the time for industry to concentrate more on the rural, tribal, agriculture, particularly the forest area where the development is most important, where is need for that area, because that is socially, economically, educationally backward. The raw material is available. Regarding automobile industry, we are working on the line. The scrapping policy is already cleared. So 100% my dream is to make India as #1 automobile manufacturing hub of the world. And for that reason, electric, ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-CNG, electric and hydrogen fuel cell, everywhere we are working. Now the 81% of the lithium ion batteries we are making in India. We are working on sodium ion, zinc ion, steel ion and aluminum ion also. We are working on hydrogen, green hydrogen. Actually, the Chennai IIT and lot of IIT institutions doing lot of experiments where we can make green hydrogen from seawater by using solar energy. So this type of new experiment and researches which are going on the basis of that 100% I am confident that India is going to become a #1 manufacturing hub in the world. Already we have got all important brands available in India. All from Mercedes to BMW to Toyota to Honda, everyone is here. And India is the central place where they can make more export from India. Our two-wheeler industry like TVS, Bajaj and Hero, they are exporting 50% of their production. So now already the electric vehicle has got a huge market, not only in India, but in the whole world. So this is the time that using the best technology, we can make automobile manufacturing hub #1 in the world. So we are working on that. With the good infrastructure, availability of power, availability of water, and availability of young talented engineering manpower is our strength. But we need to have a development on cluster basis by which we can reduce the cost. And everywhere, what my request to all of you, that we are going to encourage the private sector entrepreneurs and private sector initiative in it. Starting it from the testing, making it to be dies and training center also. Everywhere government role is the facilitator. We are ready to support you. And this is the time for that with your vision. If you want to develop something, government will be a great support for you. So this is the time with a good infrastructure. There are a lot of challenges are there. We are facing some pandemic, because of pandemic also we are facing some problem. Even in the economy also we are facing some challenges. But I am confident that with the positivity and self-confidence, 100% we are going to win this war. And for that reason, we need cooperation of all stakeholders. We need to establish cooperation, coordination and communication between the stakeholders. And with a dream of Prime Minister making Indian economy as Atmanirbhar Bharat, 111 lakh crores of infrastructure we are planning to making in India. I am 100% confident that this is a big challenge. But regarding the road infrastructure, I don't have any hesitation in my mind. I am fully confident that we will make the road construction. We are in next 5 years. We are going to make the road construction of 40 lakh crores. And that is going to be a great boost for the construction equipment manufacturers. Their turnover is double now. But now I am requesting them to make their machines on the basis of electric, CNG, ethanol, biofuel, that we need to reduce our import. Our present import of crude oil is 8 lakh crores. Even in the particularly hardware, electronic hardware, it is the time for all of you to accept this challenge, where actually our import is very high regarding mobile phone, laptop, everywhere. We have all potential to make all the things. For that reason, we need to take some initiative by which we can be alternative. All type of products we have, and we can make the alternative for the world competition. So this is the time that the opportunities are there. Government is fully supporting the development. We are, and the knowledge which is our strength, that young talented engineering manpower is our strength, and people like all of you who are good entrepreneurs have got the ability that they can make the miracles for the country. So this is really a good thing for me that we interact with you. I am requesting you that anywhere, if any proposal you have, I noted your points, particularly about the investment, about the infrastructure, what the presentation was given to me. My request is to send me all the details in written. 100% my office will work on it and we will do it. I am giving my all best wishes to all of you. Be safe. Today we are facing the problem because of this pandemic. Again, I am giving my all best wishes to all of you. And regarding all Bangalore Chamber of Commerce and Industry, all your members and office bearers, and giving my thanks to all of you. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
President sir, you have to unmute, sir.
Sir, sorry, sir. With your, thank you so much for a very inspirational address. Sir, we'll definitely take up the two homeworks you have given. Cluster program, which